Hi everybody, it's Mark with exoticcarplayplace, and today I'm going to answer a question that some of you guys have had. I had a recent request because I just got out of driving the M5 and I was going through some of my notes and my comments, and I see that there have been some requests as to the current market update on the E60 M5. We're going to talk about the American market value because that is right now largely the majority of the volume viewers, but I can certainly get onto the other markets as well. For now, I'm just going to feature the US market value for the E60 M5, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to talk about the lowest car I was able to find in the US, the highest car. I'm going to give you the mean, so basically the average price for an E60 M5 and roughly the average miles you would expect to find on that car. So I'm going to feature you that. I'm also going to make some comparisons. I hope you enjoy and stick around, because I'm going to compare what you can get for a new car for the same dollars as what you can get this M5 for. Now don't forget, the M5 was a very expensive car in its day when it first came out. It was initially about $130,000 Canadian. I guess I would put it somewhere in that $100,000 mark US. Quite a pricey car. Quite the performance car, and if you watch my previous videos, you'll recognize that part of it. So today I'm going to give you the highs, the lows, the means, and then hopefully that gives you some power going out there to search for your new supercar. So firstly, I'll explain my search criteria. I broke it down to cars with less than 60,000 miles because I feel that there's a lot of great cars with over 60,000, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that kind of will beg to differ. I know there are great cars at more than 60,000. I'm simply picking the cars under 60,000 miles because that gives you a fighting chance at securing a better car. With the less mileage you get, the better off chance you'll have of having a successful, reliable car. So that's where I broke it down, 60,000 miles. I also broke it down less than $40,000 US. Now, generally that covers the whole spectrum. I did find, however, two cars outside of my search criteria, and I mentioned them briefly here too. So let's get started and we'll talk about these cars and what the average price was. So the first car that I found on the cheapest end of the spectrum happened to be for about $15,500, and that had about 56,000 miles on it. Actually seems like quite a good purchase based on all the other numbers that I had seen in my search. So that would be a good go-to, and that was for a 2006 model, and I believe that one was white. So obviously I had done my search, looked through a number of different classifieds and come up with some different numbers. So we're going to move on to the highest level here now. The highest number that I found happened to be $40,000, and it had 1,000 miles on it. Obviously, I would say that was a garage queen, and it probably really is just more the anomaly, and I don't know if that's really the norm. That's kind of one of those oddball ones that doesn't really, isn't in line with the rest of the cars. Could be a good buy, but it's hard to say because it's kind of outside that graph. Now, opening the search to a much broader spectrum to look at the cars that don't necessarily go under 100,000 miles, I looked also at cars that listed with more than 100,000 miles on them, or 160,000 kilometers, and I found a car that was listed at $14,900, and it had 100,000 miles, which would be 160,000 kilometers. That car obviously a little higher Ks, there could be a bit more of a risk in that one, but at $15,000 or less, depends on how the guy negotiates, that is a real good bargain based on that type of car that you're getting. I mean, what else do you get for $15,000? A Chevy Sonic? A Hyundai Accent? So opening up the search engine basically to go all the way to the top as well, I actually found a 2008 E60 M5 that happened to be listed at $69,000. Well, you say, how in the heck can that cost so much money when all these other cars are so vastly much cheaper? Well, this one has a couple of other things going for it. Number one, it was a unique color. Number two, it only had 27,000 miles, which is a spectacularly low mileage for this type of car in the year. But it also had the 6-speed manual transmission, and it had the stroker kit installed in it. So this car was a real one-off. And actually, the previous owner obviously spent a lot of money to make the car just right. This should be a real good purchase, but it isn't cheap. It does come at a price. So in summary, guys, gals, everybody else who may be looking or may consider what's the price of my car worth if you happen to have an M5. Well, here we go. The average miles calculated throughout the vast majority of this list actually came out to about 46,000. And the average list price, if you average the high, the low, and everything in between, came out to about $28,000 US. So 28,000 with an average miles of about 47, with an average mileage of about 45,000 miles, that's what the average you get. Now you also ask yourself, what can you get for $28,000? You can either get yourself an E60 M5 with 507 horsepower, or you can get yourself a Toyota Prius Prime. That's all I have today, everybody. It's Exotic Car Play Place and Mark signing out here. I hope you liked the video, a quick summary, and I just thought I'd give you a quick market update on the E60 M5, where it's at today. This is Christmas 2017, and 2018 should be an exciting new year. We're going to feature a lot more exciting content, but I hope you liked it. Be sure to definitely like, share, and subscribe to my channel. We'll talk to you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.